The story for Dishonored follows a man named Corvo, who is the bodyguard and secret lover of the Empress, and the bodyguard to her little daughter named Emily. When coming back from a huge journey to find a cure for a rat plague that is taking over the country, Corvo gets ensnared in an assassination plot against the Empress. An assassin kills the Empress and kidnaps Emily. Corvo is of course framed for the murder and kidnapping and is sent to be executed. But luckily a resistance comes and saves Corvo, but needs his help to stop the people that assassinated the Empress from taking over the country. But along the way, Corvo gets magical powers from a being named the Outsider, who gives him these abilities to help him with his goal. So Corvo must kill a lot of people to get revenge and of course save Emily. There you go, there's the plot. So the story itself is pretty generic revenge plot, but what I really enjoyed about it was the build up in the beginning. You start off hanging out with both the Empress and Emily, and it actually feels like a real family dynamic that's going on. And then boom, that gets taken away from you, and you get pissed, and you want to kill everybody because you're like, man, I actually felt for Corvo and these two women. I'm like, Corvo smash. And even though they're not used all that well, I actually like most of the characters from the Resistance group that you actually talk to, which I really dug. Even Corvo, who does not speak, I actually kind of like too at times. So overall, I think the story is just filled with really likable characters and a really good beginning. So I kind of like the story. But now let us talk about the sound, which I always like to begin with the voice acting, which is filled with big named actors who all do an amazing job in this game. You got Susan Sarandon as a crazy rat lady, Michael Madsen as a fellow assassin, Brad Dourif as the guy that gets you your equipment, Lena Headey as a maid, John Slattery as the leader of the Resistance, Chloe Grace Moretz, who is especially great as Emily, Billy Lush as the Outsider, and so many others that just do an amazing job here. Overall, I think the voice acting here is especially great, and it only gets better with the sound design and the soundtrack. Sound design here is fantastic, especially if you're trying to be stealthy, because you'll be able to hear every single little like footstep or noise that someone makes. If someone's really far away, you'll just hear very small noises, but when they get closer, you'll hear them start escalating in sound, which is really cool. And the soundtrack here is very well done as well, and actually gets you right into the mood of this 1800s Victorian style looking England, which I really dug, and the soundtrack is great here. And overall, I think the sound here is just amazing altogether. Now let's talk about the graphics, which Dishonored has a great style to the visuals. It is a steampunkish version of a 1800s London or England, which I thought was really cool. And for the most part, the game does look really good. The character models are overly stylized but are very well detailed, varied, and animated. Some of the special effects like the magic abilities you get and some of the explosions look really good as well, and the environments, like the characters, have a stylish feel to them, and there are plenty to explore, and each one is pretty damn big. But the problem is the texturing in the environments. Some are so blurry and muddy when you get super close to them, and if you're playing stealth, you're gonna definitely get super close to some of these environments, that it almost ruins the nice style to the game. Everything else looks great, but the texturing on stuff like the ground and sides of buildings just look really bad. But I have to admit, some of the animations are amazing, the character models look really good, the special effects are nice. So overall, I think the graphics here are still really good, but the textures stop it from being great. Alright, so the gameplay for Dishonored takes a Deus Ex approach to its gameplay. It gives you a big open place for you to either run through and murder people, or take a stealthier approach. You can play the game like a supernatural hack and slash FPS game with the crossbow, pistol, sword, and magical abilities, or you can take a stealthier approach and just go around and murder people when they're not looking, or just walk right past them and don't even look at them. Now, if you want to play the game like it's a straight up action game, it is still a lot of fun because of the feedback and the feel you get from both the crossbow and the pistol. It feels good to murder people with both of them, which is a good thing, because if you don't feel like you're murdering people, then what's the point of playing it? Or you can actually use your sword and get up close and personal, and the sword play actually works very well as well. You have a block counter button, and you can pull off some nice and gory finishers, and of course you can just hack and slash your way through if you want, but you're not going to win like that. You're going to get blocked and stuff, people are going to surround you, and you gotta be smarter with that stuff, which is good. Now, before I get to the magic portion, let me talk about the stealthier approach, because the stealthier way is much more rewarding in my opinion. Throughout each environment, you'll have many different ways to get to your assassination target and many ways to kill him or her without alerting anyone. You can stealth kill enemies or knock them out and drag their bodies somewhere that others won't see. It's simple stealth, but it really works very well, especially since you have so much freedom. At any time, you could just randomly break out into a rampage of murder, and then you could go to the next environment and be all stealthy again. Both of these options work very, very well for whatever type of gamer you are. If you're an action type gamer, you're going to really enjoy this game. If you're a stealthy type gamer, you're going to really enjoy this. If you're a mixture of both, then guess what? You're going to really enjoy this game because it really works on both fronts. But now let me talk about the main reason why I think Dishonored is probably one of the best action stealth games I have ever played, and that is because of the magic portion. Think all of the gadgets that you get in Batman Arkham Asylum or City, except in magic form. That's pretty much what they are. You get 6 abilities that you can use in both the action and the stealth portion. You get the teleport forward a little bit ability called Blink. You get the possess animals one where you can actually possess a rat, a fish, or a dog. You can slow down time. You could see through walls. You could push people back with a wind blast, and you could summon rats to consume people. All of these abilities can be mixed with stealth or action in a different type of way, and it's always fun just to go to the next area and map out what you want to do. Like, alright, I'm going to make this guy getting eaten by a bunch of rats. I'm going to push these 2 back into this water and let them die. I'm going to teleport behind this dude and assassinate him, and I'm going to just like go all crazy out with my pistol and crossbow in this section, just murder every single body. And you even have upgrades in the game, which I thought was really cool, because you find these things called ruins in the environments, which you can use to upgrade each one of your magical abilities, and you could just make them even more badass. You could like teleport a little further or stop time completely, or now you can possess humans instead of just animals, and that's awesome. And just overall, Dishonored has so much going for it. If you play like a Twitch shooter, you'll finish this game in about 7 or 8 hours, but if you go for a more Twitch shooter slash stealthier approach, if you want to like combine both of them, then it's going to take you a long time to beat this game, and hell, you might want to even replay it because it's so much fun. So overall, I think Dishonored is an amazing game. It's not quite a 10 out of 10, but I still think it's an amazing game that anybody should play. I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you, and goodbye.